Hey everybody, Mo here, and in this video I'm bringing you guys another Meta Monday, so another episode of Meta Monday. So this last week was Christmas week, or holiday week. A lot of people celebrating their holidays over the last week, and yeah, a lot of things have been kind of changing. As we see here, the number one is Viger, number 3 is Lurk. Like, a lot of things have been changing. Ari Lulu kind of popped off there. Spiders have been popping off. Just a lot of crazy stuff's been happening. So this Meta Monday is going to be really fun, really interesting. A big change between this Meta Monday and the last Meta Monday, so I hope you guys are ready for it. But before we get into the Meta Monday, I wanted to remind you guys that 60% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and actually click the subscribe button and then leave a comment down below, so help me out with the YouTube algorithm. It'll make me a very happy person. It'd be a really great birthday gift for me. My birthday was yesterday, but I'm going to do my birthday stream over on Twitch, so if you guys would also go and check that out. If you're watching this on the day it came out, on the 27th, I'll be doing a birthday stream later tonight on twitch.tv/emotional. A link to that will also be in the description below. So that's it for the intro. Let's get into the top 8 most played decks of last week. So we see here, most played decks of the meta. Number 1 is actually Darkness. So Darkness had a really big comeback. Darkness spiked in popularity right after Yamato got second place at the World Championship with Darkness. But then after that, it kind of died down a lot. Darkness isn't really one of the easiest decks to play, at least play well and get the most, efficiency, bang for your buck out of the deck. So a lot of people kind of stepped away from it. Well, it looks like, more people are coming back in with the Darkness. It seems to do really well into these Nami TF piles. It gets to play mini-morph, so you do really well into Pantheon piles. And that's not surprising at all that that's what people are really going to. You have the nice board wipes of, like, Vile Feast, Withering Whale, Withering Mist to deal with a couple threats or smaller threats. And the things like the Nami TF, the Ari Kinnan style decks. And then you can just play things like, what is it called? It's not called, no, it is called Despair. Yeah, you just play Despair, and that's basically just a 4-mana vengeance for things like the Nami, the Ari, the Pantheon, the stuff like that, where, like, okay, you play Pantheon or Dragon, and it's not that big yet, so I'll go ahead and just Despair it, let it kill, or hit me one time, but then I immediately just kill it, and then don't have to worry about it again. Yeah, Darkness seems to be in a really good spot. This is the first time, actually, I think in its existence, where I'll say that Darkness looks really good right now. Mainly because of the type of meta we're in, where it's a bunch of small units, and then just Voltron decks, which is what Darkness is great against. It beats a bunch of small units, while also having the mini-morph, being able to afford to play this on triple mini-morph. Yep, to be able to play the triple mini-morph for that Pantheon, those Pantheon decks, the Lee Sin decks. It's a very strong deck right now in the meta. So if you're a control player, rejoice, because Darkness has your back. So number 2, second most played deck is Nami TF. So this Nami TF Drizoth pile became popular, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Was number 1 in play rate last week, and had an absurd win rate. A lot of people were just absolutely dominating with it. This is still my go-to deck for ranked ladder right now. If I were to sit down and grind out some ranked ladder, I'd be playing a lot of Nami TF. So I am really happy that it's still up here at number 2. I think the win rate did drop a little bit from last week. Obviously, the play rate has dropped from number 1 to number 2, but the deck is extremely really good. This deck is great at just slamming threat after threat after threat that your opponent has to deal with, or they will win you the game. You can't let a Nami stay on board for more than a couple turns. You can't let a Shelly stay on board for more than a couple turns. You can't let Shellfolk stay on board for a couple turns. You can't even let TF stay on board for too long, because TF will flip in this deck. Is it very common? No. Is it a main game plan? No, but you definitely can flip TF in this deck if you want to, if it's left unchecked over, 3-4 turns. So this deck has too many threats until Shellfolk is the card that's on everyone's topic right now on Twitter and Reddit. People are really complaining about Shellfolk, saying Shellfolk is broken, Shellfolk needs to fix, blah blah, this, that, the other. Not saying I don't agree with them. I absolutely hate playing against Shellfolk personally. But yeah, this deck is one of the best ways to actually abuse the Shellfolk in a very consistent shell, and it's very solid. Number 3 is we have a Lurk. So Lurk kind of showed up as a way to combat these do-nothing decks, is what I call them. And I actually said this last week. I don't think I said Lurk specifically, but I did say that aggro decks were going to become really nice, because Pantheon, Mono Pantheon, what does this deck want to do? Pass on turn 1, pass on turn 2, play a Dragon on turn 3. Or you're playing Typically, mono Pantheon decks are playing one unit on turns 1 through 3, and you get a really nice aggro opener. Nami TF, this deck literally wants to go pass on turn 1, pass on turn 2, or if they try to combat you with their, what's this girl's name? Oh, this isn't even playing the 2-drop, but if they try to contest you with like an early double trouble, or if they're on the Mirai Wardens or something like that, then they're not leveling their Nami on turn 4, so you're not under any immediate pressure either. The Ari Kinnan deck, you know, Ari Lulu, all these types of decks, they don't play fearsome blockers. So you play really big like fearsome units, like your 1-drop is a nice fearsome unit, or a really big overwhelm unit with like a leveled up Rek'Sai or one of your 5 or 6-drop units, and then boom, Ari Kinnan can't really do anything against you, and a lot of decks can't do anything. The Nami TF deck can't do anything against you. You're really good into darkness because all of darkness removal spells are really expensive, and every single unit you play is a threat because all of your units are just, you know, like 1, 2, and 3 cost, and all of the removal spells from darkness are 3 or more. So you're almost always winning in mana trade there, and they just can't afford to keep open the mini morphs for the things like your Rek'Sai and your big 6-drops. It gets to the point to where even if you draw a 1-drop on turn 8, your 1-drop is still going to have 7 or 8 power by that point easily. So your 1-drop is just as much of a threat as any other 5 or 6 cost unit in your deck. So I'm really happy that not necessarily Lurk kind of moved up as the aggro deck of choice right now. We see spiders down here, which is something I'm more excited about, and we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, we'll see that there is aggro decks coming into this top 8 that are kind of pushing along these do-nothing decks, and that makes me very happy, and that's something that I saw coming from last week. And you guys should have also saw it coming. If you watch my videos weekly, you'll know when I tell you guys something like, hey, aggro looks really good right now. Aggro can just stop all of these do-nothing decks that want to goldfish for a couple turns. There you go. You should listen to me, because look at this. Number 3 deck, 55.5% win rate. I don't know. Maybe I know a thing or two about aggro decks and metas. So, number 4, halfway done with the list, is Pantheon, mono Pantheon more specifically. And I said this last week as well, that Pantheon Taric was actually more played than mono Pantheon. And I actually said that mono Pantheon will take over until people start playing the mini morphs and the Hush and the Stress Defense and all these other types of cards. Until people start playing those more, as we saw here, Darkness is the most played deck in the meta, but until we see even more than just Darkness, then these mono Pantheon version is going to be a hell of a lot better than the Pantheon Shyvana, the Pantheon Taric, stuff like that, because you only need one threat, and one big threat will win you a lot of matchups. But once people do start playing the mini morphs, the Hushes, the cards like that, the Wills, the Palms, all that type of stuff, then you can start switching out mono Pantheon for the Pantheon Taric or the Pantheon Shyvana Dragon style decks, and you'll have a lot more success there. But I think this is the highest win rate in the top 8 with 57.5, almost 58% win rate on this mono Pantheon deck. Oh no, sorry, we have Ari Kinnan. My bad. Second highest anyway, so really, really good. And then the highest win rate deck is going to be Ari Kinnan Shurima. I'm assuming this is just mono Ionia with some absolvers. Yeah, so Ari Kinnan, really good. Ari is really good. This version is not playing the 1,000-tailed, but 1,000 is really good. The 7-mana elusive girl, or 7-mana elusive card is really good. We see it here with the Ari Lulu. This 1,000-tailed is really nice, and then Wayfinder Hatchling or Windfair Hatchling. Really good. These are ways to actually close out the game when you're not playing things like the Kinnan and that type of stuff. And it's really, really, really nice. You get the Concussive Palm to stop this, but sorry, we're jumping ahead a little bit here. So let's go back to the Kinnan Ari. Yep, very basic stuff. This is just your standard. I'm going to play Kinnan, I'm going to play Ari, I'm shoving in all the cards together that say recall, or all the cards that you recall and get value out of. Nothing special, same deck we've seen a lot, but the difference is in this splash is you get Absolver, so basically you're able to give your Ari Overwhelm, and then if you get a leveled up Ari, you win the game. It could be just some random 4 damage a lot of the times, if not more than that. Just as a nice combat trick or buff spell, which is really nice. Anytime your opponent chump blocks anything with a 1/1, you can just give the unit that's being blocked Overwhelm with the second half of Absolver, and you get to push in a lot of damage. So, all in all, I mean, just a very solid, very just standard Ari Kinnan deck. And it looks like the Shurima Splash is doing better than the let's see here. So yeah, so the Go Hard Splash only has a 57% win rate. The Rally Splash has a 56% win rate. So it looks like the Shurima Splash is doing significantly better than both of those with a higher play rate. This has almost over 5 times the games played, 4 times the games played, and has a much higher win rate than both of those versions. So there you go. Maybe Shurima version is strictly better. Who knows? And then Ari Lulu, I kind of touched on it earlier, but I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was saying Ari Lulu was a completely broken deck when the game, literally like before the cards actually came out and I got early access to them. During early access, I basically only played Ari Lulu, and I was telling people that, hey guys, Ari Lulu is kind of broken. But my version, the way it was lacking was a way to actually kill your opponent in the game. You could take board control very easily with it, but it had a lot of trouble ending the game. Well, Teal Red, Magnificent Deck Builder, took the deck basically almost the exact same list I was playing, except he found a way to add in this Sign-In Thousand-Tailed and Windfare Hatchling. And after he did that, all of a sudden, the deck doesn't have problem closing games out anymore. When you can give your entire board +2/+2, and it's an elusive unit, or when you can just give your entire board +1/+1 and draw 2 cards, you don't have a problem closing games out at all. Or worst case scenario, let's say you play Thousand-Tailed, you draw 2, give your entire team, it's like a little Cytheria. Well, if you don't end the game on that turn, you can bounce it back to your hand with Ari, and then guess what? You draw another 2 cards the next turn, and then you mini Cytheria again. So it's just a way to make sure you never run out of gas, and it's absolutely insane. I think this deck, Ari Lulu, is absolutely broken still. I think it's probably, if not the best deck, it's probably the second best deck in the game. It's really, really, really strong, and I think it's being heavily underplayed right now. I think there was a point on NA ladder, or America's ladder, where Team Hydra was, I think, all 4 top spots. Like, they were literally ranks 1 through 4, and I think 3 of them were using Ari Lulu. I know there was a point where, like, the top 3 players on NA ladder were all playing Ari Lulu, and they were all Hydra players. So they obviously have something figured out. Go Hydra. I'm very proud of them. That's very, very smart. That should show you that Ari Lulu, pretty good deck. Number 7 and number 8 here, pretty low on the popularity scale as far as what I thought, what a lot of people thought would be popular, is Spiders and this Echo Zillion combo deck. So Spiders, nothing crazy. I don't think this is playing a single new thing. Yep, it's just OG Spiders. You just play, your 12 1-drops. I guess this one's technically playing 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, 12 1-drops. So you just play your 12 1-drops, you play your burn spells, you play your decimates, play your Noxian Fervors, and you just go fast. And it's just an aggro deck that's built to punish all of these, do nothing decks. So I'm very happy I got there. I'm probably not going to say too much about Spiders other than it's Spiders, because it's not a new deck in any way, and the reason it's being played right now is because Spiders beats all of these absolutely, do nothing decks that want to sit there and durdle around with all your aggro. Fearsome, like Fearome's a really good keyword. We are doing over that. That's how you beat all the Ari Kinnan decks. And then because it has all the burn spells, you get to go over top of anything here that doesn't have healing. Just pretty easy. And then at number 8 is the Echo Zillion deck. And Echo Zillion is a deck, I believe this deck was created by Scathis, if I'm not mistaken. And the goal of this deck is actually just to turbo level your Echo. You just kind of win with Echo, and then you win with Echo Absolver. Because once you turbo level your Echo with all of your predicts, I mean, you're even playing 0-mana Feral Prescience, you just go, okay, I leveled my Echo, boom, here's my Echo. Your opponent can't ever actually kill Echo, because if they do, you just play the, can I pull up Echo? His Chrono Break, which for those of you I don't know, is 3 mana, bring back every unit that died this turn. So you revive all units that died, and then you rally. So at the very worst, it's 3 mana rally, and at the best, it's 3 mana revive my Echo that you just killed, and then rally on you. And it is just absolutely crazy, and the consistency of this deck is obviously really high because you're playing predicts. So that's how do you make a deck consistent? Oh, you control what all of your top decks are, and I mean that's literally what predicts do. So you do that into Ruinous Path and Absolver as ways to close games out with Overwhelm and with your little burn from Ruinous Paths, and then all of a sudden you just have like a really solid deck. So this is a kind of funny, maybe a little bit more cheesy deck than the other ones, but I think it's very cool, and I'm really, really happy to see it here in our number 8 spot. Obviously, you guys think it's cool as well. So that's it for the top 8 decks played this season. I hope you guys all enjoyed your holiday break, your winter break. And if you guys are ready to climb this week, there you go. These are the most 8 played decks, so you now know what to look out for. You know what to try and beat. that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, don't forget to join my Discord. Link will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe because it helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. And I will be live on Twitch tonight doing a birthday stream, so go leave me a follow over there. Stop in, say hi, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.